Hey, it's Kasim with Solutions 8, and in this video, I want to jump on something of a soapbox, if you don't mind. I want to kind of go all the way back, because I know we offer like a lot of tips and tricks and hacks and best practices and pro tips and ninja. I've run out of list things, but you know what I'm saying. Like we give you a lot of the tactical stuff, but I feel like sometimes we need to like step outside of the weeds and play the strategy game. And so I want to talk about like, what's the point of running paid ads, really? You know, and so many of you are going to go, well, I want people to buy from me, idiot. And I know that's true, but again, if we elevate ourselves just a little bit from a paradigm perspective, digital marketing is relationship building online. And marketing is relationship building, right? You're building a relationship with you know, in some instances, a brand, a product, an avatar. But as a business, you're given this amazingly unique opportunity to build one-on-one relationships at scale. It's unbelievable. And when you look at marketing through the paradigm of relationship building, it actually changes the way that you approach things. Because instead of just saying like, buy my bottle, you know, that's not the way that you would do that with somebody that you had a relationship with. Instead, relationships generally are built on systems of reciprocity, right? And like 3-year-olds know this. But somehow as adults, as soon as we put on our business hats, we just completely go, you know, full stupids and decide to ignore some of the things that I think are axiomatic about life. So if we want to build relationships with people, start to think about who your prospect is and what it is that they really need. What is it that they're dying to have? And what's interesting about marketing, and I'm going to drop what I hope is an epic value bomb, and it's something I've been thinking about for, call it a week now. And it might not even necessarily be mine. It could be something that I picked up through osmosis, but I have nobody to cite, so I'm going to claim ownership. If you can think about what it is that people need, and you give them what they need, you can then sell them what they want. And this is the pivot. Give them what they need and you can sell them what they want. And I'm going to give you the best example ever. And it gets super meta because you're watching it, right? Like our YouTube videos, we're giving epic amounts of value. We're one of the best Google Ads agencies on the planet. And I don't even mind saying that. I don't feel arrogant anymore. It's a bold statement that I think we can prove to be true on every axis of analysis. And so all we've done is just jump on YouTube and say, hey, here's how we did this. Here are the mistakes we made. Here are the things we did well. And we give people what they need, which are, you know, answers and exact how-tos and tutorials and walkthroughs. But what's interesting about that is once they get what they need, that, you know, they have answers to these questions, like in some of them are burning, right? It's like, I need to know how to do this. Give them what they need. And we haven't charged for it. You're not paying me to watch my YouTube channel. There's no monetization enabled. I don't have ads running, right? But then what's interesting is I've given you what you need, but now really what you want is for me to make it easier or faster or more effective. Or you just want to talk like, hey, I just want to coach. I just want somebody to walk through this. And then YouTube has been, interestingly, one of our strongest lead acquisition tools. And we're new at this. We're brand new. We just broke 1,000 subscribers. So start thinking about from your own perspective, and incidentally, that carries over to paid ads. You know, I'm just not talking about organic YouTube videos. When you're positioning content in front of prospects, what is it that they really need? What can you do to give to them? How can you improve their life? How can you change their state? Right? There's a before and an after state. How can you move that process, position them in a way to where they're in a more desirable after state? And if you can do that, you're going to begin building a relationship with them. And that's the way really to start thinking about, this is a full funnel approach. And I know I'm a Google Ads guy. I like the bottom of the funnel. I like high commercial intent. I like going straight for a purchase, but it needs to be more than that. And what's really amazing about Google and honestly, all the advertising networks, Facebook and TikTok, and anything that you want to put money at, it gives you the opportunity to give. And that's where the relationship building starts. And if you want to start at the top of the funnel, if you want to make customers aware of you before they even know they need you, the way to do that is to give. And so begin thinking about your particular prospects and what it is that you can give to them, what value you can bring to them. And the other piece of this too is it doesn't need to be overwhelming. It could be a quick video. Could be a quick video offering them a pro tip that they didn't know they needed. You know, you serve residential realtors and the average time on market in the Phoenix, Arizona neighborhood is 61 days. And you can show them how to drop 61 days to 55 days with these 3 tips. Or you help, you know, private schools increase their enrollment, and you happen to know that the admissions agreement is the hardest part for them to get through because it's a really big hurdle, and you can show them how to digitize their admissions agreement using Airtable. Or you're helping cosmetic dentists with dental implants, and you're giving them a pro tip on how to use periodontal charts in order to segue over to implants. Or maybe you're not B2B at all, maybe you're B2C, and you're helping a mom. You're helping parents. You're a piano coach, and you want to help parents who want their kids to get into music, and you're like, hey, here's a really quick pro tip on exactly how you can get your child interested in music. And in a 90-second video, you just show them the do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do thing. I don't know anything about music, but you know what I'm saying? Like there's so much value that you have to give. There's so much value that you have to give. If you didn't have it, you wouldn't be in business, right? And we've all had that experience. If you put me on the phone with anybody that needs help with digital marketing, in 15 minutes, I'm going to change their life. Not dramatically. I'm not being arrogant. I'm not saying like the whole, the worlds are going to shift, the clouds are going to part, sun rays and doves and stuff. Not that at all, but I'm going to save them a significant amount of time. I'm going to point them in the right direction. I'm going to give them really good advice, and I can do that in 15 minutes because I've been doing this for a decade and a half. You can do this too, and I know you can. You can do this in your realm of expertise. If you're in front of somebody who has a problem, and it's going to take them, days or weeks or months or years to solve that problem, and you can just in a handful of sentences back and forth say, oh, this is the thing that I would do in that particular instance. Bottle those conversations, bottle those pro tips. And now you have this really amazing opportunity to provide value, to push value. So I'm all about inbound. I built my whole business around it. And to be honest with you, I'm something of a hypocrite because I don't do what I'm telling you to do very well. I'm learning, I'm growing. But I just think that there's such a missed and wasted opportunity for building value-driven content and putting it in front of your prospects before they're ready to buy. Because then when they're actually ready, it's like, oh my goodness, that's the person that helped me with that thing. Like they already know you. They've seen your face. They've heard your voice. Even if they don't necessarily remember you, that neuroassociative conditioning that's going on in the background, that feeling you have when you're like, gosh, I know this person from somewhere. And especially if it's positive, you just set yourself up for success. So ask yourself right now today, what is it that I can give? How do I give? No expectations to get anything in return. Just give. What is it that I can give to my prospects, to the people that I serve, that's going to make a measurable change in their life, a measurable impact that will cost me nothing? And there's you should be coming up with a laundry list of things. If it's not striking you soon enough or fast enough, then my constructive feedback to you as your surrogate self-proclaimed YouTube coach is you haven't niched down enough. So if you can't instantly say like, oh yeah, well I happen to know that everybody that I work with, bam, problem. Then you're one of those folks that, and I get these people regularly in my coaching groups where they'll say like, oh, I'm a business consultant. And I'm like, all right, cool. What do you do? And they're like, well, I'm a business consultant. And instantly it's like, that's not a business. That's not a product. That's not a service. That's that's like, it's not even really an idea. It's sort of like a vague, categorization of what could be many ideas. But if you came up and said, well, I help people that are looking to sell their franchise businesses increase profitability. It's like, oh, cool. I know exactly who to work with. And now the person who's helping franchise owners knows, oh, before you do this, you have to do that. You get what I'm getting at? So if you already have a laundry list of ideas, that means that you're niched down and you know who it is that you're serving. If you don't, go get clear on who that is. And then get clear on how to love on them. And there's so many people who are trying to do the exact opposite. There's so many, all of your competitors, all of them are sitting there trying to gate everything. All of their, magic and the secret sauce and the proprietary processes, they want to put it behind a gate and a paywall. That's not what the internet is. This is like the meritocratic system where we just all provide all the best information. And you know what the best part is? They don't want to do it. I have taught people in this channel how to build Google Ads campaigns start to finish with everything they'll ever need to know. They still call me and say, can you please do this for me? And I don't blame them because I do the exact same thing with all the other things. I have a young man who's working with me right now on we're building automated processes inside of Airtable. And Airtable is amazing, by the way, if you haven't played with it. Super cool database application. What's funny about it, though, is I'm a smart cat. I can figure out Airtable, but I opened it up, played with it for 20 minutes, and I was like, I took some of the tutorial videos, and I was like, I don't want to do this myself at all. So I'm paying this guy, and he's not cheap. But he's worth it. He's what he can do in an hour would take me many, many hours to figure out, if not days. And what's worse is it's not even about figuring it out. It's about all the mistakes that I would make without even knowing that I made them. And then I'd have to like backtrack and undo things and unravel spaghetti code. And I can just throw money at this guy. And incidentally, here's what's really interesting is I found him through a give. I found him because the network that he's a part of was giving free information, free content. And what's cool about it too is you don't have to wait. That's maybe what the crux of this video needs to be about, given that I'm a paid traffic manager. Organic content just sits there and it just waits for somebody to be ready for you, which is cool. Do that. Don't not do that. We rank organically for Google Ads all over the place. So I'm not bashing SEO. I think it's critically important. But you also just have to wait for somebody to be ready. But what if you took that exact content and you pushed it in front of the people that you know are viable to you? So, like we crush Shopify store campaigns, e-commerce campaigns in Shopify, because Shopify has this phenomenal integration with smart shopping. We just crush it. So we took our Shopify, some of our Shopify tutorials, and we pushed those in front of Shopify users, which, by the way, are so easy to segment. And we just gave to them. And it's like, hey, here's how to do this. And, people are blown away by that. And why wouldn't they be, right? Here you are, a stranger that they don't know who's just here to help them. But now they get to know you. And they get to they have a sense for your heart and the fact that you're there to serve and to give. And it puts you so far above a vendor, right? Because here's the truth. You don't have a relationship with a vending machine. You put in $1 and you get your candy bar. And it's not $1 anymore now. Have you noticed that, by the way? Vending machines are kind of insane. I'm just going to mark how old I am. But everything in the vending machine used to be $1. Like that was the max. And now we've in this really weird vending machine ecosystem where, anyway, that's a different tangent. But you don't have a relationship with the vending machine. You don't have any dedication to the vending machine. You don't have warm and fuzzies about the vending machine. You give it something, it gives you something back. Done data, right? That's the way so many of us are treating our business. We're all treating it like a vending machine. It's like, oh, well, when you give me value, I'll give you something back. All right, maybe that makes sense academically. Like if we're just going to teach somebody commerce, an alien comes to Earth and we have to teach them how money works. It's like, well, yeah, somebody gives you something, you give it back, and that's just the nature of things. But our relationships are so much more diverse, and you just have this amazing opportunity to do this. And the best part is it's at scale. You could give, depending on the market that you serve, especially if you're local. If you have, like a small local a market, if you're geographically positioned, you're a dry cleaner. Let's say that's a really good example, actually. Let's say that you're a dry cleaner, and you own a dry cleaner, and you happen to know that everybody that comes to your dry cleaner travels within 10 miles from you. What I would do is I'd go to YouTube and I'd go to Facebook and I would freaking carpet bomb that entire area with the top 3 tips to, increasing the longevity of your winter clothing or whatever. It's right, summer's about to hit. I know you're going to store your winter clothes, and here's how to keep the moths off. And, here's a really cool thing that you can do with vinegar. And I made that up. I don't know if vinegar helps dry cleaning. But you know what I'm saying? Like something that was free, easy, quick. And all of a sudden I'm scrolling through my Facebook feed and I'm about to watch a YouTube video. And here's this person that is 10 miles from me or close, is in my zip code, is right down the street, is across the street from my house. And they're saying, oh, I just wanted to help you with something, just FYI. Bet money that the first time I end up with, a stain on my suit or, I need to whatever, why on earth would I go anywhere else? Except for oh yeah, hey, there was that guy or that gal that like really gave me phenomenal information that was super helpful. Now, it's a long play, right? We're playing the long game. Why wouldn't you do that? Why wouldn't you play the long game? In the very beginning, if you're just like, I have to make a sale or I'm going to die. Yeah, go straight bottom of the funnel. But long term, this is an amazing way to build an audience, and that traffic, by the way, is cheap. Top of the funnel traffic is cheap. So figure out what it is that your customers need, give it to them, and watch them turn around and buy what they want. Give what they need, and they'll buy what they want. I hope this lands. I'd be really interested actually in your feedback. I know so many of our videos are a little more tactical in nature. So if this whole like philosophical approach thing, if this bugs you, let me know. Like hit me in the comments and just be like, hey, bro, let's realign here, because this YouTube channel is an evolution of sorts. So I'd be really grateful for some guidance. Y'all can coach me and give me a sense as to what else you want. On that note, I've been getting like amazing comments. Thank you, everybody. And also some really solid recommendations. Some of your recommendations are really more of a course than they are a YouTube video, which we're working on too. But if you have like specific topics that you want to hear about, hit me up. I'd love to know it. Drop it in the comments. Thumbs up if you liked the video. Don't forget to subscribe. I know I went on and on about how I was going to start going live as soon as I hit 1,000 subscribers. The truth is I got like super nervous about when I'm going to do it, how I'm going to do it, etc. So bear with me while I work up the courage, but I'm going to start going live too. I think I'm going to do it on a regular cadence, so it'll be like every this day at this time, so people know. And then, maybe I can build up a situation where when it is I'm going to go live, and then you can show up so I can help, with specific stuff, workshop type stuff. Anyway, I'm talking way too much. That's okay. I'm just going to push this out and hope that it helps some people. Yeah, that's all I got. I'll see you guys tomorrow.